Hi, this is Goapele, and you're checking out YouKnowIGotSoul.com. Hi, Tom, it's Goapele.
Hi, Goapele. How are you?
Hi, good.
Thanks for taking the time out for the interview. We appreciate it.
Of course.
Just want to start out talking about your new album you're releasing soon, next month, actually, Break of Dawn. Talk a little bit about...
Coming out October 24th.
Yep, October 24th. So what can we expect to hear on there?
You can expect to hear soulful, eclectic, sensual, pensive music.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And, we love the first single, Play, and we actually highlighted that as our featured song of the week last week, so people, to give it some attention.
Thank you.
No problem. Can you talk about how that song was created?
Yeah, that song was created at the zoo in our studio in Oakland, and Electric Thunderbolt, an up-and-coming production crew out of the Bay Area started working on it, and it just kind of had the skeleton of the song, but it was just really vibey, when I heard the track, just kind of like the drums and that main synth, and I just kind of went in the booth and sung what came to me, and it was fun to just get to do a flirty kind of song, and I felt like the music was super funky, and it was just fun and vibey, really.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, I love the way that one came out.
Thank you.
So, I was reading about some of the, producers and writers you worked with on this album. You have a great mix there. Can you talk about some of the people you worked with on this album and how you, selected them to help you create this project?
Well, I got to work on it over the past couple of years, so it was a gradual process of me just getting to go in the studio and try a lot of different things. And there were some people that I had been starting to work with that I was really interested in collaborating with, like Malay, and we started working on Break of Dawn a little while back. That was probably one of the first tracks, and there were a couple of writers that he worked with that I collaborated on that song, and it was probably the first song that I got to sit down with some other writers and bounce some ideas back and forth, which was refreshing and new for me. Mm-hmm. And then Milk and Honey was one of the earlier songs. I did that with Bedrock out of the Bay Area, and that was kind of another created in the moment song that I was just singing what I naturally felt without really writing it down and premeditating it. And then I started working with Dan Electric out of the Bay Area, who's really talented and just coming up now, and I wrote pieces over a beautiful track that he did, and Bobby Ozen, and I really got to get in the studio with a lot of different people and share a lot of different sides of me and a lot of different glimpses of kind of what I've been going through, and I feel like the album is a lot of those snapshots. I also got in the studio with Crucial to work on the song Hush.
Yep. Okay. I was reading about this project. It was the first of your albums that you actually decided to work with other songwriters, like you were mentioning. And, did that make the project any less personal for you, or were they able to help portray, your feelings onto the songs?
Yes. I think in the past I was always worried about if I worked with other writers, would the project feel less personal? Would the songs be as close to my heart? You know, would it still be as honest for me? And I really just wanted to be more open with this album and really, you know, kind of after I'm an ASCAP member, and after going to a few of their award shows, you know, for singer-songwriters, and seeing how many people are behind one song, it kind of opened me up to thinking what matters at the end is the song.
Yeah.
You know, and that people feel that end result, and that it's the best that it can be, you know, in its art, in its own right. And I want to come at it from that perspective and be a little more open and objective. So I just thought, you know, let me try it. Let me try working with some different people, and some of it, you know, I kept, and some of it I didn't. But it was, you know, on hush. It was nice to have that collaboration and get to see someone take, you know, like a little bit here and there on a melody, or we can finish each other's lines, you know.
Yeah.
And on Break of Dawn, and even a little bit on Tears, and then all the rest of them, you know, were more me by myself in the studio.
Yeah.
You know, sitting in front of a microphone.
Okay. That makes a lot of sense. So now, on your previous two albums, you know, they were released on Skyblaze Records, but in conjunction with a major label. But this time around, I believe the situation is a little different. You don't have that major label, you know, backing. Has there been any major differences?
Well, I would say, I mean, the difference with a major label and independent is mainly resources. I would say that's the difference, you know, that I feel sometimes where I, you know, the artist just have to be more creative and more patient in that it might take a little longer for people to find out about the music, and I really rely on my true fans, you know, seeking it out. And as far as artistic creativity, I feel really lucky that I've been able to have a voice through it all. You know, even when Change It All came out on Sony, it was Skyblaze. You know, my label was still involved, and I really had a lot of freedom in the studio and just in the whole project, which I've been thankful for. So it's just more a shift of less people, you know, and less backing.
Okay, cool.
But, the creative freedom, that's always what's the most important.
Yeah, definitely. Okay. You know, your last album, Change It All, was released back in 2005, and you know, I was wondering, did you always plan to have, you know, such a gap between albums? Or, you know, is this what you foresaw at the time? You know, talk about that.
Not really. What happened between after I released Change It All and was just kind of touring from the album and then just steady performing. I just I wanted to take a little bit of time to be able to have a family. And have a family life. And so, you know, I still kept doing shows, but I limited it to less shows and was able to go in the studio really on my time, on a more paced out scheduling instead of just like always on the grind, you know. And so I it's really just more that I took my time, and then you know, now I have a daughter and a a family, and but I really am excited, and I really have energy and drive to be out there, you know, and sharing my music and sharing my experience.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, you know, now, you know, even though Break of Dawn is about to come out, I'm staying in the studio, so I'm assuming that the next album's going to come out fairly quickly to follow up this one.
Oh, okay, cool. I know fans are definitely excited to have you back, and definitely excited to hear that.
It's been a minute, yes.
Yeah. I want to ask you about a collaboration you did not too long ago with Mateo on the song "Shoot Me Down." Crucial produced it.
Shoot Me Down?
Yeah. Can you talk about that collaboration and what that was like?
Yeah. Well, you know, Crucial's you know, a music friend of mine, and we worked in the studio, and I got familiar and hit to Mateo through him, and they were working on a mixtape, and I liked how the project sounded, and so I got on Don't Shoot Me Down, and then, you know, we did a video for that, and I feel like I've heard a lot of the other music that's coming out, and I think it's going to be a strong project.
Yeah. No, I like that "Shoot Me Down" song a lot. Great job on there.
Oh, thank you.
No problem. You know, you've been classified in the past as being part of the neo-soul genre of music. And I know, like, a lot of soul and R&B artists, they don't like being placed in that genre because they feel like it limits them or places them in a certain area. Do you feel any type of way about that?
Yeah.
Yeah, how do you feel about that?
I think that any categories can become limiting, you know, in terms of what people are expecting from you. And so, you know, I say I do soul and R&B music, and I think that I'm just creating music that I feel, and sometimes it's hard to categorize it.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. And one final question for you. You know, you've been involved in a lot of human rights work throughout your career. And can you just talk about the importance for you to, you know, be involved in those type of things?
Well, you know, when I decided to be a musician, I was hoping that that would be one of my contributions in having a positive impact on the world, and that's always what I've wanted to do. Mm-hmm. So I think as artists we have an opportunity to shed light and share different stories, you know, and expose different realities and inspire people and give a different perspective, and that's what I try and do through my music, and I just hope to empower people, and I'm always looking for different relationships, I guess, with different organizations and folks out there that are just really doing positive things in the community.
Mm-hmm. Cool. That's a beautiful thing. Okay. Anything you'd like to add?
No, just, you know, the album is coming out soon on the 24th, and I'm about to start touring, and people should just go to Goapele.com to get those dates. I really look forward to sharing the music in person, and you know, I'm on Twitter, I'm on Facebook, and I appreciate the patience that people have had.